Clark set all these records on the basketball court, obviously the scoring record in college.
Can you believe it? A single basketball card just sold for $366,000. Not Michael Jordan, not LeBron James. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark isn't just another basketball player, she's a rising superstar. With every game, she's making history, breaking records, and winning hearts. And now, she's changing something no one expected: the sports card market. Her cards are selling for crazy prices. Just a few months ago, hardly anyone cared about WNBA collectibles. Now, investors, fans, and collectors are fighting to get their hands on them. So why is Caitlin Clark's card worth so much? What's making her so special? And is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Let's find out. So, who is Caitlin Clark, and why is everyone suddenly obsessed with her? Well, let's start with the basics. Caitlin Clark is not just good, she's unreal. Born in Iowa, she's been dropping buckets since she could hold a basketball. But the real madness began when she stepped onto the college court. From the moment she suited up for the Iowa Hawkeyes, she's been a walking highlight reel. Logo threes, no problem. Insane assists, all day. Breaking records, just another Tuesday for her. She's not just playing the game, she's dominating it. And the stats? Ridiculous. She became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, not just in women's basketball, but overall. She's the only player ever to drop multiple 40-point triple-doubles. Oh, and did I mention she's got Steph Curry-level range? Because she's pulling up from half-court like it's a free throw. Caitlin isn't just winning games, she's changing the game. Fans love her, analysts praise her, and defenders, well, they mostly just look helpless. And all this hype? It's spilling over into the sports card market. That $366,000 card? Just the beginning. Let's talk about it. Hold on tight. Caitlin Clark's basketball card just sold for a jaw-dropping $366,000. Yes, you heard that right. $366,000 for a college player's card. Let that sink in. More than the rookie cards of NBA legends like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And what makes it even crazier? This wasn't just any card. It's a one-of-a-kind Bowman Chrome Superfractor Auto, meaning there's literally only one of these in existence. It's signed by Caitlin herself, and it's the ultimate collector's dream. Now, let's talk numbers. LeBron's rookie card sold for around $312,000. Steph Curry's? $228,000. But here we are, with Caitlin's card smashing those numbers. A college player, who hasn't even stepped foot in the WNBA yet, made history with this sale. But this isn't just about Caitlin. This sale is huge for women's sports. For years, women's sports memorabilia were ignored, but Caitlin's impact is flipping the script. This sale says loud and clear, women's sports are here to stay, and they are now serious business in the collectibles world. And here's the kicker. This might just be the beginning. If Caitlin continues to dominate, imagine what her cards could be worth in the future. We're talking sky-high values, not just a flash in the pan. Caitlin Clark is shaping the future of sports memorabilia, and this sale is the first step in rewriting history. Women's sports memorabilia is exploding in popularity, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. For years, men's sports dominated the collectibles world, NBA, NFL, MLB. But now, things are shifting, and women's sports cards are gaining serious attention. This isn't a niche market anymore. It's a rising force. The key to this change? Recognition. Women's sports were once overlooked, but today, female athletes are getting the respect they deserve. Fans aren't just cheering. They're investing in their memorabilia. Social media has given female athletes a platform, allowing fans to connect directly and see them as superstars in their own right. This exposure is fueling the growth of women's sports collectibles. And it's not just about novelty. Investors are eager to tap into this market early. Women's sports cards are fresh, and the prices are still relatively affordable compared to men's cards. Early investors are hoping to cash in as values rise. Caitlin Clark is at the forefront of this change. Her $366,000 card sale isn't a fluke. It's a clear sign that collectors are paying attention. Caitlin is one of the most marketable and talked about athletes right now, and her memorabilia is being recognized as an investment for the long term. Her rise isn't just about her talent. It's about legitimizing women's sports memorabilia as a viable investment. Caitlyn is leading the way, showing the world that female athletes are worth the same attention and financial backing as their male counterparts. But Caitlyn isn't alone. Other legendary female athletes are seeing the same rise in demand for their memorabilia, including Serena Williams. The tennis legend's cards are increasing in value as her legacy solidifies. Maya Moore. Her cards are valuable not only for her on-court success but also for her impact off the court. Brittany Griner. Her cards are gaining demand thanks to her remarkable career and story. Diana Taurasi. As one of the best in WNBA history, her cards are highly sought after. These athletes are part of a larger movement, pushing women's sports memorabilia into the mainstream. With Caitlin Clark leading the way, this market is set to grow, and investors and collectors are taking notice. If you're considering entering the world of sports memorabilia, now's the time to invest in women's sports cards. The market is emerging, and the future looks incredibly bright for these collectibles. Get in early, support women athletes, and watch as their cards become valuable assets in the years to come. Caitlin Clark is not just making a mark in basketball, she's revolutionizing the sports card market. Her rise isn't just about her talent. It's about how she's changing the way we view women's sports memorabilia and elevating it to a level that was once reserved for men's sports. Before Caitlin, women's sports collectibles were often seen as a niche market. But now, thanks to Caitlin's historic performances, rising fan base, and undeniable skill, she's shown that women's sports deserve equal recognition. Her cards are becoming some of the most valuable in the market, with her $366,000 card sale proving that collectors are recognizing the untapped potential of women's memorabilia. But Caitlin's impact goes beyond her own cards. She's bringing the WNBA along for the ride. As her popularity skyrockets, the demand for WNBA memorabilia is rising. Fans are now more interested than ever in the history of the WNBA, and Caitlin is helping transform it from a niche league into a mainstream powerhouse. Here's the game changer. Caitlin's cards are starting to outperform NBA card boxes in sales. Yes, her card sales are surpassing even the biggest NBA names, proving that women's sports collectibles aren't just a passing trend. They're a profitable investment with huge room for growth. Caitlin's success is paving the way for more female athletes to see similar success, with their memorabilia gaining more value. The rise of Caitlin Clark signals the future of women's sports memorabilia, one where women athletes are just as collectible and valuable as the legends of men's sports. The future is bright for women's sports memorabilia, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. There's a major shift happening in the sports card world, and it's not just fans collecting memorabilia anymore. Big investors are getting in on the action, and they're looking at Caitlin Clark's cards as a massive opportunity. So why are investors so interested? Let's break it down. Sports cards, traditionally seen as collectibles, have caught the attention of Wall Street-level investors, the same players involved in stocks and bonds. These investors see Caitlin Clark's cards as an untapped asset class with huge growth potential. And it's not just Caitlin. Women's sports memorabilia as a whole is being recognized as a high-value market. Now, sports cards are being viewed like investment assets, not just fan collectibles. Investors are treating them like stocks, looking for long-term growth. Cards are being sold at auction houses, traded in online marketplaces, and even bought by institutional investors, all driven by demand, scarcity, and perceived value. As Caitlin Clark's popularity continues to rise, her cards are gaining massive value. Her $366,000 card sale is just the beginning. Investors are betting on her career success, with hopes that her memorabilia will appreciate further as she becomes a household name. But it's not just about Caitlin. Women's sports as a whole are growing, with more exposure, fans, and money coming in. Caitlin is leading the charge, and her success is making it clear that this is a long-term trend, not a fleeting moment. So, for investors and collectors, this is the time to get in, because Caitlin Clark's cards are set to soar in value, and the market for women's sports memorabilia is just getting started. Social media has completely changed the game for sports cards, especially Caitlin Clark's. It's no longer just about collecting. Hype culture is driving the value of her cards through the roof. Let's break down how it works. You've probably seen how viral moments can explode on social media. Well, in sports cards, those moments directly impact value. Every time Caitlin Clark makes headlines with a jaw-dropping performance or record, the buzz spreads across platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, pushing her cards to new heights. The more people talk about her, the more demand grows for her memorabilia, making her cards even more valuable. Social media isn't just for fan interaction, it's driving direct sales. Clips of Caitlin's performances rack up millions of views on TikTok. Instagram posts feature rare card collections, and YouTube videos showcase Caitlin's cards. Every post increases visibility and demand, creating a snowball effect that's impossible to ignore. But it's not just about fans. Caitlin herself plays a huge role. With every appearance, interview, and highlight reel, she's building her personal brand. As she grows in the media, her cards become more than just collectibles. They're seen as investments. People aren't just buying her cards, they're buying into her legacy. In short, Caitlin Clark's cards are valuable because of hype culture. Social media buzz, her media presence, and growing influence all fuel the demand for her memorabilia. As she continues to rise, so will the value of her cards. Okay, now that we've seen Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise in the sports card market, it's time to ask the million-dollar question. Is this just a hype bubble that's going to pop? Or is it a long-term shift in the way we view sports collectibles? Let's break it down and get into the nitty-gritty of what's really happening here. Let's start with the optimistic view. The sports card market has been on fire in recent years, and Caitlin Clark's rise is no exception. For starters, her dominance on the court is something we haven't seen in women's basketball for a long time. She's rewriting history books, breaking records, and grabbing headlines, which makes her an attractive figure for investors. The more she plays and continues to win, the more valuable her cards become. Sports memorabilia collectors aren't just buying her cards, they're investing in her future, seeing them as a chance to own a piece of something truly special. Additionally, the rise in popularity of women's sports is undeniable. People are paying attention to the WNBA, women's college basketball, and female athletes more than ever before. Caitlin Clark is at the forefront of this movement, and her cards are reflecting this shift in the market. Plus, as more investors get into the game, the demand for Caitlin's cards will likely continue to rise. It's supply and demand 101. As long as people want her cards, the value will keep climbing. But hey, let's not get carried away just yet. There are still some serious risks when it comes to investing in sports cards, especially with all this hype swirling around. Market fluctuations are nothing new in the world of sports memorabilia. Trends change, and interest in a player's cards can drop just as quickly as it skyrocketed. What happens if Caitlin's performance starts to dip, or if another player takes the spotlight? We've seen it before in the world of sports cards. One minute, a player's cards are worth thousands of dollars, and the next, they're barely worth the cardboard they're printed on. The same can happen to Caitlin Clark's cards if the hype fades, or if investors lose interest. So, while her cards are hot right now, it's important to remember that the market can be volatile, and things could change fast. So, what do the experts think about the future of sports card investing, especially when it comes to Caitlin Clark? According to industry insiders, we're still in the early stages of this boom. While some argue that it's a hype bubble, others believe that we're witnessing a shift in how people view sports cards as assets. The increasing presence of women's sports in the spotlight is one of the big reasons why experts believe Caitlin's cards have long-term value. However, there are also some who warn about investing too heavily in a single athlete. They suggest diversifying and not putting all your money into one player's cards, especially when the market is still so unpredictable. Wow, what a ride! From Caitlin Clark's incredible rise in women's basketball to her mind-blowing sports card sales, we've seen how her cards have become a major force in the sports memorabilia market. The sale of that $366,000 card isn't just a number. It's a clear sign of the massive demand and potential value that Caitlin's memorabilia holds. Her cards are skyrocketing, and her impact on the market is undeniable. But here's the real question. Will her cards continue to climb in value, or is this just a temporary hype wave? We've broken down the rising popularity of women's sports, the role of social media, and how investors are treating sports cards like stocks. But what do you think? Do you believe Caitlin's legacy is just beginning, or are we about to see a dip? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Caitlin Clark's impact on the sports card market, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting updates. You don't want to miss out on all the future developments in the world of sports memorabilia. Let's keep the conversation going.